Hello, DIY Dad here. We're doing our small course on basic car maintenance at the moment, and this one's going to be about your fuel filter. Now, all different cars have all different types of fuel filters. My old T4 van here has this type, where it's got diesels have a feed and a return, and then a runoff coming from the injectors. Your car will probably be different. You get sort of filters that look like this that spin onto a thread. You get small cartridge filters about this long that go in line. You get sort of big long metal ones that stand with two tails on that plug in underneath, under the bonnet. There's just so many different types. So the best thing you can do is to go online and go and look at what type of filter you have and look at the location. It's not too bad a job changing them. I say that, but this one's going to be difficult because this one's right down in the bottom here. It's right underneath everything else. I don't know if I'm going to have to strip everything out to get to it yet. I'm not sure. But my van's been a bit sluggish. It's due a service, and I don't think this fuel filter's probably been changed. I haven't changed it, and I'm guessing the last couple of owners haven't changed it because of the access problems. So we're going to change that and see if it makes any difference. All filters, I don't know if you can see inside there. Can you see in there? Maybe. All a fuel filter is a paper filter. It's like a network of paper, bits of paper all wedged in here, and the fuel just gets pushed through, and any sort of particles get caught in the paper. So they do get old, they get brittle, and they start to block. Now, I used to sell filters for a living. This was part of one of my old jobs. And fuel filters and oil filters and hydraulic filters. There's not that many companies actually manufacturing filters. So when you go and buy filters, it's good to get a decent quality filter, but don't be terrified if they give you a budget brand. I don't think they're that bad. I sold all kinds of filters and I've never had any problems with them. I've had a couple of oil filters that had pinholes in, just a manufacturing issue maybe, but that's pretty much it. So I wouldn't say don't go and buy the most expensive, but don't buy the cheapest. Go in the middle somewhere. And that's what I tend to do when I buy a filter. I'll just say which is the cheapest, which is most expensive. Because all these branded filters, all they are is the same filter. They're cheaper filters branded with a more well-known name. And then they just sell them for more money. So is there much point? If you go middle of the road with filters, you're not going to go wrong. Okay? Right, I'm going to try and get this in then, and we'll see how it goes. Hello, I'm back. Right, I've got the old one out. You can see how dirty it is. What I tend to do when I refit filters is the new one. Things I tend to do. The problems you have with fitting filters is not the fitting; it's the starting of the car afterwards. So if you get air in your diesel system, this can be an issue. Some cars have to be bled properly before they'll start. Others don't. Sometimes you can just keep turning it over; they'll bleed the fuel out. But it's good to try and get some fuel in your new filter. So what I tend to do is tip the fuel out of the old filter into the new filter. If you've got a way of cleaning it beforehand, try and strain it, do that, But whatever happens, having a new filter instead of an old one is a million times better, however you do it. So yeah, try and fill your filter with fuel before you do it. Some cars have certain starting procedures after you change the filter as well, but you can look that up online. There we go. Right, let's get this changed. Right, fuel filter is now changed. I managed to get my arms in and do up the clamps and things and push the little plastic bit in the top and get the pin in that side. So that's good. It's all together. So the next job is always the nerve-wracking bit. You have to start your engine. What will probably happen is it'll die because of the air in the system. And then you keep turning it over, it'll pump more fuel and eventually it should start. So let's give it a go. Doing well so far. It's actually started straight away. Let's leave it running for a bit, see what it does. Right, well that's good. The engine started and it's idling and it's revving perfectly. Now the reason I've achieved that is because I poured that diesel into the filter. If you start with an empty filter, you've got a whole filter full of air to get through a diesel engine. Sometimes it takes you like 10 minutes of turning it over. So this worked perfectly this time. So there you go, that's a top tip. Always fill, if you can, always fill your diesel filter with diesel. My other half's car, Seat, that had a diesel filter underneath, you had to take half the bottom of the car off to get to it. Now that I couldn't do that because it was an inline filter, you couldn't fill it with diesel, and that always took a lot of starting. So just bear in mind that diesel engines always need to be bled. If you get air in the diesel system, they start to run funny, they stop, they jump, they cut out, very odd. So there we go, that's how you change your diesel filter.